everyone, I'm Eric Bolling. Welcome to Cashin. Our Cashin crew this week, Mr. Wayne Rogers, Jonathan Honig, Michelle Fields, and Emily Tish Sussman. Welcome, everybody. Well, hold on to your wallet. You just heard Democrat lawmaker Keith Ellison say, we don't have a spending problem, we have a tax problem, as in we need more of them, taxes. That's why he wants what he's calling a Robin Hood tax on investment transactions. So, Jonathan, apparently there's no spending problem. It's all about taxes.
Yeah, we just need to, I mean, it's like the Willie Sutton theory of government, Eric, you know, go where the money is. And money is in trade. I mean, trade is wealth creation. It's how civil people interact through trade, not through force, which is what Representative Ellison is advocating for. And all trade is productive, whether it's high-frequency traders or Mon-Pa Kettle with an E-Trade account. So he's calling for a tax on trade, which is really a tax on production. It widens spreads. It makes it more expensive to buy and sell stocks, to borrow money, to start a business. And I'm sorry, but 1/10 of 1% is a big amount of money, especially with the Fed manipulating interest rates to zero.
Sure, and in fact, I think the number they estimate somewhere around $300 billion. Michelle, why is it always let's raise your taxes, let's take more money from you?
It's crazy. Look, the wealth of the nation does not belong to the government. We're $16 trillion in debt. Our spending is out of control. The idea that we're not broke, but that we need to confiscate more of Americans' money is crazy. And if we did implement this transaction, this Robin Hood tax, the money is not going to go to bringing down the national debt. It's going to go to propping up more of these social programs, which got us in this mess in the first place.
Right. All right, Wayne, help us out here. This Robin Hood tax, they always want more money. They always go after the wallet. How about spending cuts?
You're absolutely right, Eric. I mean, every conversation that these guys have starts with the word need. We need this. We need this to do this. We need this. They have no idea. And the fact that the guy sets up and says the government doesn't have any money, he's pitting the people against the government. Well, the government is the people. This is a country that is built on the fact that we, the people, are part of the government. And this guy is thinking that somehow we're opposed to each other and he has the right to dip into the citizens' money. It's an outrageous concept. He's never read the Constitution. He's never read the Federalist Papers. He's a moron who doesn't understand that the background of the Constitution of the United States is to protect the people from their own government.
I'm glad you brought that up, Wayne, because, Emily, a little bit later on in that soundbite, he says the government has the right, and he goes on to explain what the government has the right, and he includes things like welfare and housing. I don't read that anywhere in my pocket Constitution.
You know, I think what he's getting at is the larger question of, you know, we are in a sluggish economic recovery, and we are seeing Wall Street going back to some of the pre-dip kind of circumstances, but we're not seeing that on Main Street. This has primarily been a jobless economic recovery. So, you know, whether it's the transaction tax or whether it's some part of a larger package, I know you've discussed raising minimum wage on your show, and whether it's part of a larger package like that, I do believe, you know, he has the right intent there, that we shouldn't be balancing. Right. We shouldn't be bringing the government back to, you know, the programs we do need and we've lost because of the sequester. You know, many of these things that have
let me bring Jonathan in.
We shouldn't be balancing it on the back of poor and working people.
Well, Emily, I think it's a little bit disingenuous, in my opinion, to argue for more taxes on wealth producers when you work for a non-for-profit entity that doesn't pay taxes. I mean, people are trying to get out there to make money, to encourage growth, to create wealth. And I got to tell you, Eric, I don't know if Representative Ellison has read the Constitution. I know he's a practicing Muslim. And interestingly, in Sharia law, there's a prohibition against trading of derivatives, against speculation of any type. So, in my opinion, you could make the argument, this is even a little bit of Sharia creep here with cracking down on trade, cracking down on derivatives trading, cracking down on wealth production.
But let's stay on this. Let's stay on the Robin Hood aspect of this, Wayne. He calls it a Robin Hood tax, which is, I guess he's trying to make the example of taking from the rich and give to the poor. However, everyone that's being taxed on this isn't rich. There are people who will put money in a 401k. They'll end up paying the price.
Well, you're absolutely right again, Eric. I mean, it doesn't mean that in a tax like that he says catch-all tax. He's going to try to get little people, big people, anybody, because they start with the word need. We need to do this. If I hear that word again, I'm going to throw up. Every politician starts with, well, we got to do this. We need to do that. Well, think about it. Go out and get a job instead of leeching off of the public, for God's sake. That's all politicians do. That's all these guys do. And it may be be a wonderful idea in his brain, but as you properly said, he's never read the Constitution. Nowhere does it say in the Constitution, I can go out and tax you for this or that or the other. It's just crazy.
He mentions the right. Michelle, a lot of people are out of work. Things are tough, but President Obama keeps talking about all the jobs he's created. It's getting so much better. It doesn't seem like it's getting better.
Oh, it's not getting better at all. But it has to do with the fact that our government has this idea that everyone is entitled to a home. Everyone's entitled to health care. And we don't have the money to pay for that. You're not entitled to a cheap home and to health care and to have this life of Julia where the government takes care of you from cradle to grave. That's what has gotten us into this mess, that kind of nanny state mentality.
And Emily, Michelle points something out very importantly. Like I said, at the end of that soundbite, he says the government has the right, the people have the right to housing. Is housing a right?
Sure, I mean, I think that these are things that we should all be aspiring to. But the fact is that going back to the same policies that got us into this economic dip to begin with,
Emily,
we haven't seen the money be trickling down to the people.
Aspiring to is one thing. Do people have a right to housing? Is it our job to provide a home for every person in America?
Look, I think that these are aspirational things that the government should be working to do to help the private sector, help all people get into homes. I do think that we should be working together, and these are aspirational. These are absolutely things that we should be doing. But the fact is that going back to the same economic policies that got us into this in the first place,
but that's what got us into this mess, the housing bubble.
Well, the same economic policies are government intervention. So yes, we're not going back to, unfortunately for markets, we're going back to more government intervention. And essentially, Eric, there's two ways of dealing with people: through trade, which is what investors are doing and what Representative Ellison wants to tax, and through force, which is exactly what taxes are.
All right, we're gonna leave it there. It's good discussion. Go ahead, Wayne. Last thought.
Yeah, in 1831, believe it or not, Alexis de Tocqueville, writing about the United States, says when the Congress understands that they can bribe the people with their own money, it will mean the end of the republic.
All right, there you go. Way to end the segment. Good job, Wayne.